You're listening to Joy Coaching America with the Joy Coach, Karyn Lynn Grant, spreading upbeat, uplifting, informative messages of hope and happiness from sea to shining sea, from our home in the beautiful Rocky Mountains.
Welcome to Joy Coaching America. Today, this is with Karyn Grant, and I am interviewing Teresa Allen. Today, we're doing a show on Jumpstart for Joy and Joy Coaching America. Not only the radio show, but more particularly the company, the business that I began in 2001. It accelerated to 2009. And in 2009, I began to realize that I couldn't Joy Coach America all by myself. It was a grandiose thought. But I knew when I titled this business, Joy Coaching America, that I would be on the receiving end of finding amazing women who have like hearts, kindred spirits, who have a passion for God, their eternal Father, regardless of what religion they belong to, or just non-denominational, but a huge focus on faith-centered coaching, which I felt was something that I needed when I was experiencing a broken heart back in 1992, when I was 32 years old and went through my first, I'm sorry to say it wasn't my last, but my first divorce. And I did not know where to go. Conventional therapies didn't seem to work for my creative right side of the brain mind. I needed something that involved all five senses. So in 2001, I began creating protocols for the Healer's Touch, Divine Essence, Lullaby Connection, Ancient Legacies, Cherishing Heart, and so on. But I knew at that time that I couldn't do it alone and that there would be other women who would have similar missions across America, and I just had to go find them. Well, one of the most outstanding one of these women that I was led to, who was led to me, the universe brought us together, God ordained it, is Teresa Allen, who hails to us from Moses Lake, Washington. Now, I've never been to Moses Lake, Washington. My first husband went on a mission there, so I had heard of Moses Lake. I'd heard of Sandpoint, Idaho, and Bellevue, Washington, and all these places, but I'd never been there before. So when I met Teresa, I felt a kindred connection just because my first husband, he started out his mission in Moses Lake, then went to Tacoma and Toppenish and all these other places that I'm talking about that I don't know because I've never been there. Teresa is a licensed massage therapist. She is gifted in emotional clearing work, in emotional nurturing, in grief coaching, in infant massage, she had a baby a little bit later in life, which gave her the wisdom, expertise, and the ability to mentor young mothers who were maybe on their first rodeo with their first baby. And so Teresa has done so much work. She has a practice in Moses Lake, and currently she is going to school and back continuing her education in her passion and purpose in genealogy and in family history and in helping families to connect to each other through the generations. And Teresa is very gifted in this as well. So Teresa, on that note, I welcome you to this call. I'm so excited to be with you today and to share your passion, your purpose, and your abilities, your areas of expertise, and who your niches are as you continue to expand your business, your outreach to find those who are in need of joy coaching, deep relaxation, grief coaching, and generational healing. So on that note, we would love to have you jump in here with me.
Well, hello. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you here. And that was a long intro, but I'm so grateful for your gifts and for the dear best friend that you have become as we met through these channels of passions in common. And
Yeah,
it's fun to know that there's women out there across America who have similar hearts desires.
Well, and talking about some of the niches, you had mentioned that I've gone back to school. Yes, that's Nicole. I'd had a baby later in life, and she's now 6. And I have a granddaughter that I watch during the week, and we have lots of fun together also. And so this just kind of it's wonderful to be able to be grandma and mom, to young kids. And so that definitely is an area where my heart is. But my heart also is with our ancestors and those that are looking to leave a legacy behind, and preparing to do that, and working with families that want to know more about their ancestors. Just recently, and I don't think I told you this story before, or that you know about it, but my husband just became aware of, for the first time in his life, that he has a half brother. Yeah, wow, huh? And
Wow.
yeah,
Oh, that's
wow.
amazing.
So, and that is because of the work that I have done on his family and doing research for him. And we had a man reach out saying, I took a DNA test and I believe that I am related to you. And that has been, it's been wonderful, but it's also scary and overwhelming at the same time, because my husband and his brother had no idea. But this half brother was aware of the fact that he was adopted out, and they share the same father. And so, and of course, this brings up those hard emotions and overwhelm, and grief too, because things have changed. So, to be able to help my husband by serving him, and blessing him with the techniques and the music and the oils that this program has provided has been a huge blessing here in our home in the last couple months. So that is so amazing.
Teresa, I can see that. Wow, you never had any idea about this. And it was after you got even further deep into your education that you found this out for your husband, and how that could disrupt one's emotional equilibrium, and that you have already been prepared with your joy coaching tools, your courses, your classes, to completely be the nurturer, the grief coach, the joy coach in your home, and to provide your husband with some very crucial tools in order
loving
to
support,
assimilate this whole new piece of information in his life. And I'm sure that has been an amazing experience for the two of you, and for him to now experience your gifts of being a grief coach and a nurturer in a way.
And it's wonderful to have that, as a, wife, to be able to support your family that way.
And as a mother, and I know you've done so much with Nicole, with the lullabies and the lullaby connection. And so this has been something that you have incorporated and have just made it a part of your lifestyle. You're there as a mother, as a grandmother, but you also have your own practice and your own business, working with people who are suffering from grief, searching for joy, and just need a hand to hold with your kinds of expertises in your areas of acquired experience, knowledge, and wisdom. So I'm so excited to just have you, and to have you kind of spearhead out the level 1 and level 2 joyful living courses that reach out to women, that help young mothers and women who may be working full time to be able to learn some sweet, basic protocols and practices in how to help their children through grief, how to help a child who's maybe being bullied at school to unwind at night with this nighttime nurturing technique that we have in the level 1 and 2 of the Lullaby Connection. So there's so many things, so many pieces that you are bringing to Joy Coaching with your areas of added awareness about the needs that people have in your community, and just right there under your very own roof, being a multi-generational family. So, Teresa, we're going to come back and we're going to do some more of this wonderful interview with you. I'm so excited to hear some stories, how you put it together, stories of your family, how you use Joy Coaching in your family, how you incorporate it for generational healing. I think that that's really a crucial conversation as many people are working through experiences that have started and originated in their childhoods and have been perpetuated through their youth. And now as adults, it's when we become ready to start deciphering our genetic code and work through those areas where we need to release some grief and find greater joy. So we'll be back after these messages with Joy Coaching America, Teresa Allen.
From sea to shining sea and beyond, you're listening to Joy Coaching America Worldwide with show host and Joy Coach, Karyn Lynn Grant.
We're back. Joy Coaching America with a jumpstart for joy today, and introducing to all of you who may never have heard of Joy Coaching America, what that is and how it originated, how it started, and how it is blessing one woman at a time, so that the changes that she makes in her own personal life through this coaching program and process, which is very faith-based and Christ-centered, then begins to have a ripple effect outward towards her family. Well, when I first created this, I created all the advanced level modules first because I had a woman in Pennsylvania, Ursula Lessick, who said, I want to become a joy coach. Could you give me everything, teach me everything. I don't want you to leave anything out. And so that's where I started with, was compiling everything I was doing with my personal one-on-one clients in Utah into manuals and a module so that I could have another woman step forward and say, I want to become a joy coach. I want to do this in my community, whether I'm in Allentown, Pennsylvania, or I'm in, Texas or wherever. And so everything started out big. And then I realized as I did this, that there were some women who were stay-at-home moms or who were working mothers who had little ones who just needed a nighttime nurturing protocol for their little ones through the Lullaby Connection, but they didn't need the whole big manual because they weren't doing it for anybody but their own self or their own family. So Tina, you started out with the great big bite-sized chunk of a program, which was created to answer the question of that woman, would you create something so that I can become a joy coach? And I want everything, don't leave anything out. And so then we moved on to the scaling it down to a level 1 menu and a level 2 booklet, which is still power packed with information. And those 2 levels constitute joyful living, so that certified regional joy coaches like Tina and Teresa and Chris and Marie and Tammy and Ramona and Sally, all of the certified regional joy coaches have become instructors of this material so that they can go and bless and teach one-on-one or in small groups or on Zoom mothers who just feel like, I need help in my marriage, or I need help with myself, just getting myself, my own vessel filled and full so that I can go and bless my children. So you jumped in with both feet into the large package.
I
So
did.
about that.
And I'm one of the
Okay, it's cutting out, Tina. I've lost connection with you for a minute.
not.
Okay, Tina, it just cut out. So I'll have to find out where it cut, and then
Okay.
we'll just keep going. Okay, so say that whole thing because we didn't
Okay.
get anything you said.
Okay. Okay. So do you want to pause recording and start again?
There we go.
Okay. So I jumped in because I needed everything, and I did. I wanted everything and every piece and every part. And I realized that I was loving it, but at the same time, it's pretty overwhelming. And I wasn't looking at it initially as this is going to be my business and I'm going to coach others. I was looking at it as, well, in the back of my mind, that might have been there that I wanted to be a coach and wanted to coach others, but I didn't have the confidence to do that. And I had no realistic picture of that being possible because I was such a mess. And it was in going
And what
through
are the
work.
first four letters of the word messenger? We have to have our own mess so that we can develop our own message and then become a messenger. So you did it in
Oh my
perfect
gosh,
order.
truth, such truth. But I was a huge mess when we started, and I still am. I'm still a mess, but the mess is getting a little less messy sometimes. At least I have better tools at managing it. But in just the healer's touch, there's over 25 protocols. And when we have so many tools and the toolbox gets so big, then it's hard to share that with someone else. And I could coach someone, I could help them, I can nurture them, I can give them help for where they're at. But there again, I'm giving them one tool and one piece at a time. But that was up to me to determine which piece I was going to give them and how to fit the puzzle pieces together as I'm working with someone. And so Karyn broke it down and gave us a level 1, which is literally a beautiful folded, what do we call it, like a menu. She calls it our menu. And it gives a simple single protocol to work with the healer's touch, to work with those songs, to work with that healing process. And then as I can share that with a client one-on-one. I can share it in a group. I'm so glad that I can teach that as a class now. And as someone gains that knowledge, if they're ready for more, then I'm going to give them a level 2 and they're going to get a booklet that adds a little more. It adds some blending. Then they can make essential oil blends. Like Karyn said, works with any brand of oils. And for me, I put them in little roller bottles, and I actually do 10 milliliter roller bottles, and I make them in little 3 milliliter roller bottles as well. So I have a portable, my go set, because you have to have a go set. I can't leave everything home. I just have to have everything, And so then you've got your oils and your music, and now you're ready to do that protocol, not only on yourself, but now on your family. And you can share that as a level 2 and take care of your family and nurture your family and see that grow. Well, then if you have a desire to go on and be a coach, then it's time to step into this level 3. And Karyn's job is to help develop coaches. My job is to help nurture and bring it into homes. Karyn's job is to help us become coaches, find those that are ready to become coaches and take it to the world. Because without messengers to take our own messes and turn it into our message and our ability to provide this nurturing into others' homes and into others' families and others' lives, then these messages would be lost. So it is time to grow. And I want to sit in a class with 50 new joy coaches and be able to help testify how much this has changed, not just my life, but the lives of others.
The lives of our clients. They say that 10,000 hours makes you an expert at something. And when I look at the time that I've spent, and I think that part of our process is going through our own challenges. I think that God allows us to go through different challenges that he knows that will shape us, strengthen our muscles, try us to the core, determine whether we're going to become bitter or better. And I think the beauty of this big program and this big vision is that a woman, whether she's an EFT practitioner or a quantum touch facilitator or a cranial sacral facilitator or a massage therapist or a body talk energy worker, whatever is already your level of interest, whether it's reflexology or anything along the lines of this kind of beautiful nurturing work that women and men do, but so the focus of our primary nature, which is to be a nurturer in our own home for our own family, and then to expedite that outside of our home into our communities. During COVID, my community effort became limited because now my home was open. I had a beautiful home with a beautiful cherishing place. And now I had a husband that was in stage 4 cancer with a low immune system. So I had to pull back, and everything that I was doing on Zoom for years, starting in 2009, we could continue. So the Joy Coaches just kept continuing because we were across the country from each other. And so we just kept continuing with our certification, with those calls. But now, how important, how vital it is to take this information to our communities. For those of us who want to do the full meal deal, the big package, and we need those 25 protocols because we're going to have those clients who need different strokes for different folks, especially when it comes to deep relaxation therapy, grief coaching, grief counseling. We're not counselors, we are grief coaches, and we help people to gracefully transition through joy, through grief, back into joy. So as we complete this segment of this show today, we're going to be taking a little time out for some messages from those who are reporting in from the outside world, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Loving Liberty Radio Network.
Welcome back to Joy Coaching America, raising the world's vibration to love, joy, and peace, one happy listener at a time.
We're back. Joy Coaching America. This is Karyn Lynn Grant, and I am so excited about the radio show that we're doing today, which will be converted into a podcast, which you can find on Stitcher, Amazon Podcast, Apple Podcast, Alexa, Pandora. It will be all over your favorite podcast joints, so to speak. But today we're talking to Teresa Allen, who is our marketing manager. She is a guru in the area of marketing, and what she doesn't know, she goes out and finds out how to do it. And I love this. We are a group of women in our 40s, 50s, and 60s, and even 70s who have decided to take on the project of Joy Coaching America. And we are growing, we are expanding, we are branding ourselves as a force to be reckoned with, because we believe in joy, and we believe in spreading love, joy, peace, and faith to those who are suffering from grief, brokenheartedness, lonesomeness, and those lower vibration emotions that just hurt and are no fun to deal with. So here we are, world, and we are so excited to be here, Joy Coaching you today and each other, Teresa.
Absolutely.
You jumped in with both feet. There was no level 1 and level 2.
I did.
All I had was a level 3, which was called advanced certification, because it was where I was and I was creating these modules. And later I broke them down into bite-sized pieces called level 1 and level 2, for the first 4 modules.
That was fun to work with you to do that, to break them down.
It was really fun. And we are proof that too many cooks don't spoil the broth. They enhance it, make it better. Someone's saying, add a little turmeric to that, add a little ginger. And it really became better. And so we're so excited. But as one of our joy coaches who did jump in full throttle saying, I'm here, this is what I'm going to do. I would love for you to share with us that part of the journey 7 years ago when you made that decision.
Oh my goodness. Well, I had been doing massage therapy. I'm a licensed massage therapist, been doing massage therapy, but it can be really hard on the body. And I found that a lot of people, I would end up achy and uncomfortable and harboring what they were harboring. And it was not working well for me. I was really depressed, to be totally honest, and was looking for something. And when I happened across you and Joy Coaching America, I just knew that I needed to jump in. When I finally did, because I was a little apprehensive, to be totally honest, it's something new is different and hard sometimes.
And committing, right? And saying, I'm going to do this.
Yeah. And I was depressed, so that didn't help. So when I finally jumped in, boy, did I jump in feet first. And I told myself and you, no, I'm doing this, let's just do it. Let's, get going. And over time, it has been a huge blessing that I've been doing this alongside of my massage practice because of life changes. You mentioned I had a baby later in life. This was a surprise baby, and I had 2 older children. And this, yes, I had to take a little bit of a break, but that was just simply because I couldn't keep up with things and had to take care of my body. But I knew that I could come back, and I could come back feet first if I wanted to, or, or just, toes. So, I think that's the beauty of this, is being able to take, chunks and to be able to, and when you made it into, a module 1 and a module 2 and the module 3 to be a joy coach. I love the fact that module 1, is all about, finding a protocol and how to do this for yourself. And then module 2 is a little bit more information, and you can share it with your family and your friends. And then when you're ready, you don't have to do what I did and jump in feet first. And you can take it a little bit at a time and digest the information and grow and expand.
Well, and the fun
how beautiful is that?
You got to come back over and over and over, because once we have the program, the initial cost, then to be able to come back is just $49 to repeat the whole module, the whole certification module, and come back again and again and again. In 7 years, I got to enjoy you and get to know you, not as a client, not even and beyond a fellow coach, but as a woman, a daughter of God with heartaches and heartbeat and feelings and emotions, and a sister and a dear friend, a best friend for life. And I love that. And I get tingles as I say those words, because
it's so funny. So was I.
Oh, you have become a best friend. And yet, how many times have we seen each other in person? Everything we've done has been over Zoom, with the exception of a joy coaching retreat here and there, and being able to be together that way. And yet, here is one of my dearest best friends living in Moses Lake while I'm living in Mapleton, Utah. We're not living in Moses Lake. Did they say living in Moses Lake? In the lake?
I think so. Yeah.
But Anyway, I'm
I
so
lived in
grateful.
Moses Lake. Yeah.
I would have thought it was on Moses Lake or near Moses Lake. Anyway, I'm
Yeah, the lake is called Moses Lake, and then the town is called Moses Lake.
okay.
There
Good.
we go.
Well, what I've loved is that as we meet new teammates as women, we all come as these nurturing daughters of God. And then we wonder what in the world we're supposed to do with these gifts of nurturing in a corporate office. And I never wanted to go be a corporate woman.
Neither have I.
As a young girl, when I remember being in my career ed class when Miss Collins walked up to each of the people in the class and said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I was 15 and I said, "I want to be a singer, a songwriter, an author, and a mother." And she said, "You can't want that. That won't make any money." And I thought, well, it's what I want and it's what I'm going to do. And I remember listening to the girls around me going, "I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a lawyer." And I thought, I had no desire. If I was going to be a doctor, I'd want to be a doctor of broken hearts, but the emotional kind. And I wish there was a course for that. But that's what essentially joy coaching became, is how to mend a broken heart and mending broken hearts with healing arts and using all five senses. Going into massage therapy was perfect because I was a single mom. I was 40 when I got my LMT license. And I don't know how old you were, how long you've been in LMT. How long have you been in LMT?
15 going on 16 years.
Okay. So we're about the same length. I started in 2001 and I fell.
And I started in 2006.
Okay. I fell in love with the people on my table. And I just thought there was a different kind of gift. It wasn't just massaging a body and moving muscles. It was sensing the divinity of that person on the table and getting little vignettes of vision for that person. I remember one day I was in school and a girl lay down on the table. I was to give her a massage. She was in the class. She was covered in tattoos, short shorts and a tank top. Excuse me. And I saw in my mind's eye a beautiful princess laying all clothed in a white gown. And I looked into her eyes during part of that massage and I said, you are a beautiful princess. And her tears welled up and she was like, "Nobody's ever told me that before." And it was in that moment that I knew that massage was something different for me. It was beyond touch. It was beyond physical touch. It was spiritual touch. It was emotional touch. And I knew my career would never be simply just massage. Yeah. So, Teresa, that's what I felt from you. I feel like your heart is kindred heart. We were hearts cut out of the same cookie cutter in heaven before we ever got here. And we're going to be interviewing you more about processes and protocols when we get back from these messages. This is Karyn Lynn Grant, Joy Coaching America with Teresa Allen.
Welcome back to Joy Coaching America, raising the world's vibration to love, joy, and peace, one happy listener at a time.
Welcome back to Joy Coaching America. I'm loving these interviews with these amazing women. You know, as I have met each and every one of them, I have found areas in them that strengthen me. And one of the most beautiful things that I discovered when I met Chris Arnold, who resides in Laguna Hills, California, is that when I met Chris, she had such a heart of gratitude. And so I had been putting tons of work and effort into the creation of Joy Coaching America, into the modules. And I would get these beautiful, eloquent texts from this woman in California. And that were just like right when I was getting discouraged and thinking, I feel like I'm pioneering something and this isn't easy. And then this beautiful text message from an angel would come in and I'd read it and I'd get so rebooted and encouraged and strengthened to continue revealing and working through and writing and creating what I was endeavoring to do. So Chris, I would love to have you just join me today. And we're going to do a whole show with Chris Arnold because she brings much to the table. And you just need to all be able to hear from Chris Arnold, Christina Arnold. Christina is a joy coach, but she is also much broader, bigger, coming from so much beautiful desires in her own health and wellness coaching company. And Chris, I would like you to share with us how that came to be.
Okay. Well, thank you, Karyn. This is a pleasure to be here with you today. As always, I always enjoy our time together.
Me
Thank
too.
you. I actually met Karyn at a doTERRA convention back in 2016. I had joined doTERRA in 2015 and really had a heart for using the oils for emotional healing. And it just so happened that at that particular convention in 2016, Karyn had a display of her work, of all of her materials, and she was actually doing massages for people. She had a little chair, gravity chair that people could lean back in and actually get a session with her there at the convention. But I was traveling through the Radisson, going over to the product tent to look at other products from doTERRA that they were launching for that particular year. And for some reason that we all know that Spirit led me to the Radisson to cut through the Radisson. And then I was led to go upstairs. And I was actually meeting somebody at the product tent. And so I was battling with myself mentally. Do I go to the product tent or do I go upstairs? And it was just like, no, you need to go upstairs. I don't know why I was led, at the time. It's just like, okay, I'll take your heed. And went up the stairs, and there was Karyn and another one of her joy coaches, Karen Bagley, and she had a lot of her materials displayed. And the one thing that really caught my eye was Karyn's book called Cherishing: How to Mend a Broken Heart. And this particular book has a series of teachings on that begin with aromatherapy. And she shares about the lost art of aromatherapy and how to mend a broken heart using music with blessings and blends. And she's created a manual that can be used in helping women and men and children heal from a broken heart, heal from grief and sadness and some of the lower vibration emotions that keep people stuck and trapped. So, and then the other motivation for me was just that it was Christ-centered. And between those two combinations, I really felt that this was something I wanted to embrace and move forward with. And so here we are in 2022, so going on almost 5.5 years that I've been associated with Karyn and gone through her program
Many times.
Yeah, I mean, we have met weekly for years, if not several times a week.
That's
So
right.
we do have a very close bond, and I've just always been so appreciative and so in awe of the heart of Karyn and how much she has put into this joy coaching program to help everyone that she can. I mean, she's helped thousands of people through her sessions over the last 20 years. And now her heart is to just teach other joy coaches to do the same thing and to expand that, because there's just so many people hurting and needing solace, needing to know how to rest and relax and
More
find
than ever.
more than ever, and how to find that peace and joy and love back into your life.
And I love that you loved that it was Christ-centered. Because Chris, I was at that booth one day and a woman walked up to me and she said, "Is this New Age?" And she was picking up a CD of one of my CDs of the Women in the Scriptures. She
Mhm.
said, "Is your program New Age?" And I picked up that CD of A Joyful Heart, Women in the New Testament, and I said, "Oh no, no, no! This is old age. This is old age." This is old age, and just wanting her to know, no, this is very rooted in the Savior. And so, as we've come together, when you think about the women that are in the program now and how each one has had her own walk to Christ and her
Right.
own walk with Christ, and regardless of religious denomination, isn't there such a beautiful rapport that we all just love to hear about each other's walk? It's like, how did you get here? And here we are. And the kindred passion that we have in common is to God bless America. He just needs some
Right.
good joy coaches out there to help him.
Yes. And we just need to be able to share that beauty and tranquility with others.
Something that I have loved about you, Chris, as I have gotten to know you through those 5.5 years, is that you come with a story. And the thing that makes an ideal coach, in my estimation, in my book, is that each woman has her own story. And when we do a full interview with you,
Mhm.
anything that you would like to share, I think it's so important. When people know our story, it makes us so real. But because of your story and because of the things that you have experienced in your life, that God has entrusted you with those experiences, and
Right.
you have mastered them beautifully, you are a full-on coach. You're implementing Joy Coaching America into what you do, and you're using some of the modules. Would you just like to share how you're doing that?
Well, part of the Joy Coaching program involves the Joyful Living series. And that's what I really love about this program, is there's basically, under this Joyful Living, there's a series of basic 4 programs that you can go through level 1 and level 2. And then Karyn actually will move past that to level 3 if you wanted to become a joy coach yourself. So the first one is called Healer's Touch, and it's awakening the child within. And I really feel like we need to get in touch with our inner child and heal some of those wounds that have occurred over life, through whether school or through peers or family, and nurture and cherish the inner child. And then the second of the 4 is called Divine Essence, and it's basically the mind connection, and you're acknowledging and awakening to your brilliant spirit, that you're a child of God, that you are blessed and beloved of the Savior, and that He has a plan for you. He has many callings for you, and to be in touch with that peace and love in your life can help keep you grounded, moving through the storms of life.
I love that. I love the wisdom and the gentleness and the grace that you bring to the program. As I listen to you and I think, oh, Chris is someone that is so beautifully seasoned, and you have overcome challenges that have been thrown at you, even with health. And I know that you'll be able to go into that more, but you are creating a coaching, and I would love for you to give out your website. Would you do that?
Oh, it's ChristinaArnold.com is my website. And
what is your focus, Chris? What is your
so, well, my
message?
basic focus is to one, help to empower women for personal development and growth. And second, to use the joy coaching protocols through the healer's touch, which involves a 9 touch point method of using essential oils and music, guided visualization and imagery, and the oils. You're using a combination of touch and trying to combine all 5 senses. So my focus will be more on the emotional healing also through the joy coaching protocols, and to bring a greater sense of wholeness and oneness with the individual, with the woman that's involved.
And I can absolutely celebrate what you're doing. I can absolutely write you resume upon resume and give you my accolades, Chris, that giving you a shout out. You are a mentor to me. And there's sometimes in this program where we feel like I'm the mama and you're the daughter, and you're the mama and I'm the daughter. And
That's right.
we are just, I really see it as helping each other in this process. We are helping to complete people's growth cycles that maybe didn't get fully finished in youth, childhood, toddlerhood, babyhood, teenage years. I'm so excited that I get to come back and interview you again. Our time is short, but thank you, Chris. This is Karyn Grant with Christina Arnold, Joy Coaching America.